This 7 Minutes to a Better West Virginia is brought to you by New River Community and Technical College. Your next step to a great career.
I ran into a couple of people out front, and they were talking about it. They said, you know, we have a lot of people in here that have come up and talked, and they're not talking about their area of expertise. They're talking about other things that they feel that could help the state of West Virginia. Well, unfortunately, you'll have to bear with me because I need to talk about my area of expertise, and that's the cities of West Virginia. I had a public speaking teacher at the University of Alabama one time that basically she said, when you get up, you tell them what you're going to say, you say it, tell them what you said, and sit down. So what I want to talk about today is home rule in the state of West Virginia. And I think first of all what you have to do is you have to look at, why do municipalities, why do cities exist? Cities simply exist to do collectively what you can't do individually. We cannot individually legislate, have a government, but collectively we can. We can elect representatives, and whether it's on a local level or whether it's on a national level, and whether that, right now on the national level it's not working too well. But still we have that responsibility to elect these people and have government, basically it should be from the grassroots up instead of from the top down. So basically what we're doing is we are existing and doing collectively what each one of us as an individual cannot go out and do. Home rule, Black's Law Dictionary and the U.S. Advisory Commission on Intergovernmental Relation defines home rule as local self-government or the right thereof. It's the power of a local government to conduct its own affairs, including specifically the power to determine its own organization, the functions it performs, its taxing authority, and the numbers and employment conditions of its personnel. There are 48 states in this country that grant municipalities home rule. West Virginia is technically not one of those because we are still operating under a pilot program. There's no one single best model for home rule, and the U.S. Advisory Commission recommended that states grant home rule authority and clarify local government as enabling its citizens and citizens' rights who are not merely just creatures of the state. I said in front of the Supreme Court of the state of West Virginia one time, and Justice Neely looked at us at the case we were presenting. He said, "You are creatures of the legislature. If the legislature tells you to go home and paint all your facilities green, you better do that because you are simply a creature of the state." Now in 2007, West Virginia did establish a pilot home rule program. And from that program, there were 5 municipalities across the state that put programs together, and they are represented. And those were Charleston, Wheeling, Huntington, Bridgeport, and Morgantown. Morgantown later dropped out of the program. There was also a home rule board created that would oversee these programs to make sure they were implemented in the right form. I was fortunate enough under Governor Manchin and also then Governor Tomblin to be the governor's designee on that home rule board. But what got us there? And really it was the legislative findings of the legislature. And what they came out and said, that in the legislative findings, they declared that future economic progress for the state of West Virginia is directly related to the success of its municipalities, and that strong municipalities will make for a stronger West Virginia. Municipalities across the state face numerous challenges in managing budgets, delivering services that are required, and we're sometimes restricted by the state in preventing us to carry those out in a very cost-effective, efficient, and timely manner. Authorizing this pilot program allowed the legislature the opportunity to evaluate the program and then make recommendations. So that program did come about in 2007. And through the Home Rule Board, they oversaw the 4 plans that I just mentioned. Then in November of 2012, they came out with legislative findings because the initial legislation was going to sunset. So what they found is that the pilot project was an overwhelming success. It provided great dividends to the cities who had participated in it, and those cities were actually able to formulate laws that were later passed to the legislature and then allowed by the legislature to be adopted by municipalities who really were not part of the overall program. So what do we have now? We have basically a new home rule bill, but it's, in my mind, it has been gutted. And it's not nearly as strong as it should have been and what it should be. So what we need to concentrate on, I think, is continuing to press our case to the legislature. I think West Virginia has done a marvelous job in creating like tourism infrastructure. But to me, the cities of the state are part of the infrastructure of that state. And if you're traveling somewhere or you go somewhere and where are you from? Well, you're from West Virginia, but you're also from Beckley, West Virginia, or Parkersburg, West Virginia, or Charleston, West Virginia. And only by keeping it together can we provide the infrastructure that companies look for when they come here. Tourism does play a big part, but we would also like to be able to attract some other companies to come in, whether it be, and especially in the small business realm. We have a lot of good facilities across this state who are eager and willing to bring companies in, provide them what credits they can, and the expansion of home rule would certainly allow cities to take a better and more proactive role in attracting new business into our cities. With that, I will leave that. I see my time is almost up, but I appreciate Scott and what he has done. This is an outgrowth of what happened last year, and this festival continues to get better and better. So I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you all very much.